I think he's got it.
Skraper og visen, jeg vet ikke hvorfor det. Ja, jeg prøver det.
So welcome and good evening from the Dewar Centre Perth for the Mercure Perth Masters 2016, part of the Curling Champions Tour. The game this evening will be between Team M.Ramsfjell and Team Murdoch, so Norway versus Scotland. And it's myself, Ken Edwards, and I'm joined by two-time winner of the Perth Masters, Gordon Muirhead. So Gordon, a very experienced team in D.Murdoch, but the young team of Ramsfjell from Norway, it's going to be an uphill task you've got to expect for that young side this evening.
Well, I don't really know this young Norwegian team. They're a young team from Oslo. They've certainly got a good curling pedigree. There's a couple of fathers there that have won the Worlds once or twice in years gone by, so if any of that has rubbed off on them, I'm sure they'll not be too bad. But as you say, it's certainly a case here of one very experienced team. I mean, D.Murdoch, twice world champion, silver medal in the Olympics against a young team, a young up-and-coming team. But it's the only way you learn. Play the good guys.
Yeah, certainly. It's a great opportunity for these guys to come across here to Scotland and experience just being away from home at a major tournament. 32 teams here, all playing a triple knockout system, so you can't be put out the competition until you've lost 3 games up until the quarterfinals, where it is a straight knockout system.
Yeah, a lot of these World Curling Tour events now are what we call triple knockout, which are, as Kenny says, you're not out till you lose 3. You have, if you lose one, you go down to the B road. If you lose another one, you go down to the C road. And what the normal situation is, we have 2 qualifiers out of the A road, which are 2 teams that are unbeaten. We're starting with 32, and 2 qualifiers out the B road who have lost 1, and 4 from C. And it's a strange thing, but it's not all that often that the winner comes from the A road, because they normally get a day off on the Saturday. So maybe it's better sometimes coming from down below when you're keeping the momentum going.
Yeah, so straight away you can see the intention from David Murdoch. He's going to go quite aggressive, up with the tight guard straight away. Get the play around in behind and try and make a steal here early on. There was a draw to the button to get the hammer, and it was Ramsfjell who drew half into the 1 foot.
Yeah, that's the system we use here. They get 1 practice throw, and then the next throw counts for the hammer. Dave Murdoch just settled it down to the edge of the button, but the young boy Ramsfjell, half stone in the button, and so he starts off with the hammer. Dave Murdoch's an aggressive team. They normally play it very aggressively, so I would imagine Ramsfjell will be the same, and so hopefully we should get quite a lot of stones in play. The ice is superb, always well set up by Paul Martin and his boys here in Perth. I actually had a game myself last night and the ice was just fantastic, so hopefully it should make for good curling.
So you see the stones at the back of the tee line there. So it's probably not where Team Norway would want the stones. And they'd like the play spread out wide because they've got last stone advantage. They want that centre line open, really.
That's the way we play it now. Normally, if you've got the hammer, you want to keep it open at the front, but with the free guard zone, it's pretty hard to do a lot of the time. And like I say, with this ice swinging as much as it is, it should be good. And the trouble is with this one, Michael Goodfellow went big with his draw behind the centre guard. They followed, and the game has kind of been drawn behind the tee, unfortunately. But you can still make a count or two from here where you get a mistake or two.
Yeah, so Scott Andrews, second player for Team Murdoch, was on that Olympic silver medal winning team.
He's trying to come round the centre guard on the out turn here and just nestle at the top of the button in front of the red and yellow, which makes it really hard to get rid of. But light and weight here, I think, possibly. Just rubs the guard, comes up short.
Yeah, that's a pretty poor shot, that one.
Certainly not what they'd be looking for here. Gives Ramsfjell a chance to go over at the end turn. Get one round. If he can come round the end turn here at the top of the button, he's certainly going to be in the advantage situation halfway through the first end.
Yeah, Marcus Varberg going to try the in turn. So clockwise rotation on the stone.
The ice here's bending a lot. We're taking ice out, edge of the 8 foot, into the 12 foot to draw to the button. Bit tight in line there. Snicks the guard. Won't be happy with that because he's left a road in for D.Murdoch to come in and almost kill a count actually for Ramsfjell at the moment.
Yeah, so a couple of mistakes early on in this first end. No practice before this game, so the teams don't really know what the ice conditions are doing yet. This is also their first game in the competition as well, so will maybe take them a couple of ends to bed in.
Normally does. I know away at the international competitions now you get 10 minutes practice before each game, so really by the time you start you know pretty well what draw weight is, but here it's just a little bit different. Obviously running the competition, it's every session all weekend and they just don't have time to do all that, so it's up to these guys. They're all experienced. There's a great shot in. Good shot from Greg Drummond. Perhaps a foot too far. Gives Ramsfjell a chance just to come to the face of it and tap.
So just electing to, just follow that one down on the end turn. This one looks pretty nice for weight at the moment.
Looks not bad at the moment.
He's looking, trying to sweep it for a nick.
He's high. His weight was absolutely perfect.
He's actually found an okay spot in the top of there though.
It's not too bad, but Murdoch sticks one, top 8, top 4. It's going to be pretty hard to get rid of that yellow on the button at the moment. It's also going to lock in his own yellow stone at the back right of the 4 foot there. But there's a few stones in play. There could be a few fireworks before the end's out.
Yeah, I think so, Gordon. Just the way this end's shaping up. Expect possibly the spectacular with the last stone. We're looking at the skip stones already, but still Greg Drummond with one to come.
This one from Greg here, he really wants to err on the short side rather than the heavy side here, because even if he comes up front ring, top 8 foot, it's blocking the road in.
Yeah, I think you've really got to be biting the top of the 4 with this, because the red angle is still always there.
That's right.
And there's still a gap there to probably get to the edge of that yellow stone on the button. The ice does curl a lot.
They're finishing really big actually, just as the stones come into the front of the house. If it's T-weight, they'll move big. And this kind of ice, a long guard just over the hog line is really not any use at all.
So do you like to play the drive now? I'll just come down at sort of T-weight and try and get in at the top of the 4.
I think I'd be tempted to maybe try and open things up a little bit, because if he tries again to come through the little hole there and fails, then Steal of One's looking pretty well on the cards. The angles aren't looking very good for the Norwegians at the moment.
So M.Ramsfjell possibly sent that one up the hill a little. Supers were on it early.
Yeah, he was trying to come through the hole there. Pushed it up the hill a bit. Didn't get the bend, and it's blocked up even more now.
Yeah, that was the risk with playing that delicate shot.
There leaves Murdoch the chance of a double. He hits about quarter to a third of that red stone. He can spring over there. Take the red at the top of the floor, and he could lie two in the top of the button just about.
What he's got to watch though, Gordon, is doesn't catch this one too thin, because you can still pick your own yellow off the button.
Yes, it could make a mess.
Look at the angles though, probably not.
I think that's what he's called. I think he's called the hit. Could be wrong, mind you, but I think that's what they were signalling.
I don't think he's going to play too much weight of this. I'll be pretty controlled though.
I see the ice he's taken, so he's got to cross the face, so he's got to bend about 15 inches, so he'll probably be playing sort of bumper barrier weight, I would imagine.
So first stone for David Murdoch here in the first end. And certainly put a handle on this one.
He looks a little high at the moment.
And they're sweeping it past the high side. And very poor shot. Seemed to just spin that one up the hill.
Put what we call a square handle on it, and with that extra pace on it, means it doesn't really bend. Certainly didn't help the situation there. Just waiting to get an overhead so we can see exactly what the story is.
Yeah, I think it's still sitting yellow in the edge of the button.
But red line second, third and fourth at the moment.
He was rather fortunate with that one.
He was in a way, actually. These guys can't take too long deliberating either. This game, they're on time clocks. What they do is they time the dead time, which is the thinking time. This is not what we used to do in curling, but this came in a couple of years ago. And so your clock starts as soon as the opposition stone stops. And on an 8-end game, they have 32 minutes. And do they get timeouts in this?
I don't believe they do. That's something we'll need to check up on.
Yep. It's certainly an international competition. You get, I think it's one timeout now, is it? Where your coach can come down and give you a bit of advice. But like I say, we'll find out if there's timeouts in these games, because not all the teams here have coaches, so I'm not too sure about that one. He's looking for a raise up in the front yellows here, in an attempt to put it onto the red at the top of the forefoot, and then try and squeeze the yellow away. I think I might prefer it to be red than yellow here, Kenny, the way it's lining up at the moment.
Yeah, certainly. Actually, the two yellows just coming into shot at the top of the screen now. The yellow next to the brush and the one on the centre line in the top of the 12. I might just try and maybe play the double on them. What does that leave David Murdoch? He's got to play a real nice one. He can't cover both sides of the...
If he got this right, it might not leave him very much at all, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Thing is, he might not spring the yellow shot away with this shot, but he might leave it very vulnerable for his last stone. On its way now, a fair bit of weight on this one. Oh, just an inch or two high. Not looking so good now.
Yeah, I think that's why I probably would have just played the double peel in the centre. You were always going to leave yourself a chance with your last one.
That's right.
Even if Dave Murdoch came down and froze on top of you, you're always going to have the red on the left to drive at it.
That's right. That's right.
So
he just got the wrong angle there.
Yeah.
On the high side. Swept it a bit as well. So Dave Murdoch called the guard here, trying to put the cover onto his, to cover the yellow that's at the side of the button with the red in front of it. So basically anywhere maybe 2-3 feet short of the rings here on the line makes it pretty hard for Norway to get a first shot in there. On its way, it's about the first stone in this game that's been played out in this wider out turn side, but some ice rinks you play it's a bit slower further out, but normally Perth, with the way the pebble and nip the ice now, it's pretty consistent all over. And that certainly blocked the road into the red now, which was Ramsfjell's best chance of getting rid of the yellow. I think, is there a hole there?
Might possibly be, but it's getting through it a delicate way.
No, I think
don't think there is. No.
Need to roll a stone in his edge to get through there, I think. Maybe not.
I think you have to be so delicate with the weight that you're probably not going to have enough to push the yellow through.
No, and I don't think in the in-turn draw, I don't think he'll bend far enough to get a bite of the button to get first shot.
Got to be careful here. They don't want to pick the red out the top of the forefoot.
Picks the red out the top of the forefoot is a bit of a disaster.
And I'm not exactly sure what he's gone for here.
He's certainly playing out turn. I think he's trying to raise the yellow nearest to us onto the red by behind his heel there, is he?
Well, he's not played a lot of weight at it. He's just trying to play a tap.
He is.
Isn't far away there. That's a great shot.
Oh, great shot. Super shot. Neither Kenny nor me saw that one, unfortunately.
No. Yeah, so
they're not the most demonstrative of curlers, these Norwegian lads. So usually you've got a fair idea by the instructions they're giving and the actions they take, what they're doing. Anyway, great start for him. That'll settle his nerves if he had any. Ramsfjell won at the first end.
Dra inn på første. Prøver 6.
Because Norway scored at the first end, they throw first rock at the second end, and that gives Dave Murdoch the hammer. And curling with a hammer, you're always looking for your two.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Team Murdoch go about trying to generate a two.
The Norwegians have decided not to throw a centre guard up right in onto the button, and I would imagine Dave Murdoch will be throwing corner guard now. Theory behind this is you keep all your guards, when you have the hammer, you keep all your guards to the side of the sheet, maybe in the line of the middle of the 8 foot, so that if things do go wrong, you have the whole 4 foot and button to draw to with your last stone if things go wrong. Ideally you want this about 3 feet short. And that's really not what they're looking for at all. Thing is, with the icy swingy is this, a guard just over the hog's no use at all. You have to be up maybe 2-3 feet short of the house, really, to be effective.
Yeah, so Norway able to take that one out of play because it's in the scoring area. Something that came in many moons ago that you remember, Gordy, actually.
Well, I remember playing the old way where you could just hit everything in sight, but techniques and equipment, etc., and the stones and everything were getting improving so much that curling was becoming a bit of a lottery. If you lost a 2 at the first end, basically the other team could hit you off the park. And so in an effort to make it more interesting, we brought in what was originally called the Moncton rule, and which means, for those of you who don't curl, that any stone over the hog but not in the rings, the painted rings, cannot be hit out of play for the first 4 shots of the end. In fact, Canada have gone a step further now in their Grand Slam series over in Canada. They've brought in the 5 rock rule, which I have never actually played. I don't know about you, Kenny.
No, I was packed in before they even started that.
And but according to my sons and my daughter, it means there's lots and lots of granite about the place, because really the end's almost halfway through before you can have a belt at your opposition stones. Ramsfjell be calling. Centre guard now. He won't be wanting it long. He'll be wanting up near the front end, the front of the house, just to cover his one on the button.
Yeah, Murdoch's still trying to keep the play out wide. The reason being is it does get him some in trouble. He's got the wide open centre to draw that 1 foot with his last rock. Should he get in trouble?
That's pretty good. That's just about where you would want it. Dave's got to decide now, is he going to try and follow around onto the button and then get involved, or cart the double? It's early in the game. Scott throwing. He's usually pretty good at the old doubles, and he's decided what he wants to do is hit that red just off the nose and take the 2 reds out of play, and the shooter will roll to the side and create a corner guard.
Yeah, nice shot.
Played to perfection and rolls to a corner guard position, which can be used.
I think for Dave Murdoch, he probably just needs to be patient this evening. He probably will get a chance at some point.
This is it. They're a young team. They're probably going to make a few mistakes, and patience is the name of the game. These young lads will curl in Oslo, the same club as Thomas Ulrud, who was silver medal in the Olympics in Vancouver. And what happened in Sochi?
He didn't qualify.
He didn't qualify, that's right. But so saying, he's one of the top teams. He's won the Europeans a couple of times, and always way, way up in everything in the World Curling Tour events. Certainly one of the top teams here.
Yeah, nice opportunity though for Team Murdoch and Scott Andrews to maybe play the hit and roll in. Might be able to get 2 yellows in to the scoring area and remove both reds. And 2 reds just a little bit close together.
What he's trying to do here again is hit just off the nose, push the yellow back onto the reds, and roll his shooter into play as well. So he wants to hit just a couple of inches on his right of centre, our left. That certainly wasn't what he was trying to do. Whether he was a little tight there, or whether it bent a bit more than they were expecting. They certainly didn't seem to jump onto the sweeping quick, so maybe a wee bit more bend out of the edge of the sheet there than they were thinking.
You can see the stone moving across the centre line. A lot of that's to do with the rotation and the way the stone's thrown as well.
There's been a lot of debate over the years about what is the optimum rotation to put on a stone. I don't know what you've been told, Kenny. I was told about 2 turns for the whole length of the sheet. Seems to be about 2.5 turns. Seems to be the optimum bend. I know if you spin a stone, it will run very straight. And if you don't put enough handle on, it can, as it grips the ice on the way up, it can lose its handle, take the other handle and just float all over the shop.
Yes, I think, yeah, between 2 and 2.5 is around perfect.
Yeah.
But you will see some of the players adjust that depending on the shot they're playing.
I know a lot of the guys, if they get up in a game and they're just peeling off guards, which means hit a short stone just off the nose so everything runs out of play, they'll put more rotation on to hold it straighter, because all they're trying to do is hit half stone. Greg trying the same shot as Scott there, and it held up the hill. So what Ramsfjell will be trying to do now is just keep splitting the house. And as long as he keeps splitting the house and allowing 2, that will force Murdoch to take his 1, which is what Ramsfjell was trying to achieve at this end.
Yeah, looks okay for weight this time.
Spot on. He's got them level. And they can just trade blows for the next 3 or 4 shots. And then, from Norway's point of view, that'll force D.Murdoch to take his 1. But Dave, because he knows he's in that situation, he's trying to put a freeze onto that stone that's just been played. In-turn freeze, Greg Drummond throwing it. What he's trying to do is sit right on top of that red, which means that it's hard to get rid of. And if they do get rid of it, they've got to hit the side of the stone, which will take everything from play and give Dave another chance to raise that yellow back onto that red.
Line's good. Line's real good. Line's good. Right to it.
Scott Andrews seems to think there's plenty of weight.
Line's perfect.
Starting to bend now.
Yep. Gotta go line. Hard line. Hard line.
Pretty close. Just overbent on them slightly.
Okay.
But an out-turn hit here. What he wants to do is just hit fractionally an inch or so inside centre of that yellow stone. That will take the yellow and the red away, and his shooter will stay, just roll a foot or 2 to the left, and he'll still lie his 2 shots.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be too worried if he moves everything out of play, rolls the shooting stone, the one he's delivering as well.
No, because Murdoch, the other red stone Norway have over at the side of the rings, is still covered by a yellow corner guard, so it's not going to be straightforward to get things shot, because Dave will now probably be thinking if he can come out of this with a blank end and hold the hammer into the third end, that's what he'll be after. That's played pretty well. No doubles on. And I imagine there'll be another attempted freeze attempted here. Yep, in turn again.
Sorry. Yeah, thinking Switzerland's all about like 10th up. I think so. Yeah.
Here he goes in turn, just wants to throw a T-weight and nestle right on top of that red at the back of the button.
Easy. Scott!
Yeah, sweepers just keeping this one clean.
There's quite a lot of new sweeping techniques appeared this last year or so. Kenny, are you up to date with all the...
Yeah, there's been the sweeping techniques, sweeping brushes, sweeping heads, fibres, No, there's been a lot of debate on it.
It was brushes in Canada started. They used a kind of serrated surface, which they could basically make the stone go in any direction they wanted. Joystick curling, I heard it described as, which is really not in the spirit of the game. These materials have been banned now, but what you find now that most of the top teams will employ the two sweepers. One will use a synthetic broom and one will use a hair broom, and this is the theory that they can control the line better and keep it straighter with a synthetic broom, and then if they want it to bend more, they'll lash in on the high side with the hair broom to make it bend more. But that all gets a bit technical. Good shot from Norway there.
Yeah, and the rules do state that you've got to have a clear side-to-side motion as well.
Well, yes, and there are umpires there, but there's always a bit of a debate about the legality of some sweeping on occasions, but certainly for those of you who don't curl, sweeping I suppose originated when it was all outside years ago, getting snow and twigs and bits of ice out the road, but we then discovered that it did actually affect the path of the stone. You could keep a stone going for longer because of the friction. It set up a very thin film of water on top which keeps the stone straighter. You could also take it quite a bit further depending on the ice conditions, but you could probably take a stone 8-10 feet sometimes with two really good sweepers, and what makes it more complicated. D.Murdoch now trying get rid of the two reds and lie. He's actually got not too bad a result out of that, and
Picks up
scores his one. Forced to take his one. 1-1, Ramsfjell with the hammer in the third end.
Yeah, just taking a look at this one again. Isn't moving too aggressively off the centre line.
Bit of weight, nice controlled strike weight.
So it'll be Team Murdoch to lead us off in the third.
Michael Goodfellow in the hack, throwing an out turn. We're looking for a centre guard, probably a couple 3 feet short of the rings on the centre line. That'll be their ideal spot. That's just about position 8. Ramsfjell now give a nice on the out turn for his lead. Elias Hostmeiringen, I think, to come round. The ideal spot for this is right round behind that centre guard, top of the forefoot, top of the button.
Yeah, this one not got a lot of rotation on it, so you expect it to move quite a lot towards the end. You see it coming across that tram line now.
Line looks perfect, but I think it's a little heavy. It's the last place you want it. You don't want to run behind the tee in these shots. Even front ring's good.
Yeah, the reason you don't want it behind the tee is because the opposing team can come along and rest on top of you, and eventually it makes it really difficult to remove from play.
You end up with a situation like we had at the first end there, where really there was a lot of shots that just, there was nothing on. Everything's going to lock on something out the back. Michael Goodfellow now playing out turn again, trying to come round his own centre guard. Again looking for top 4. No, he's not. He's looking to come right to it. Surprised at that. You don't really want the game right back there.
Ja, nesten samme fart, da.
Norwegian lead. Elias Husmelingen again. Looks like we're going to get a log jam at the back of the button again.
Yeah, so stone's beginning to build up. And we've seen this young Norwegian side get themselves in a bit of trouble anyway, in the first end when all the stones were behind tee.
Yeah, he played a very delicate little raise onto the button to get the one at the first, but things could have been a bit different. Certainly not really the kind of shot you want at the first end of a game. You just want a nice simple draw or a simple hit. Mind you, that's what you want every end, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly. This one just not curling enough.
Hanging out a fraction. Didn't bend as much as they were thinking, or maybe a wee bit too much ice, or perhaps a wee bit high on the broom. Weight was perfect. Now everything's creeping up nearer the button.
Yeah, so one good stone from either side would probably put them in the commanding position.
This is Magnus Vaberg. Second for Team Ramsfjell from Norway. Just trying to settle one right on top of that yellow at the back of the button. Between the yellow and the red. Weight looks to be not too bad. Sweepers aren't going too mad on it. Line looks pretty good.
Yeah, the line looks really good. That's perfect there.
Not bad at all. Perfect weight, top of the button. Scott Andrews again out turn, just following up, trying to sit half checked on top of that red. Must be slightly tight in the line. The inside sweeper's going, trying to hold the stone straight.
Gotta go, Greg. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Go, go, go.
Yeah, this one's just pulling all the way.
Over bending on them.
Yeah, two horrible stones there. The only saving grace is the two yellows are lined up. You might be able to just direct them back.
Yeah, they're almost in line actually, and not too big a distance between them, so you could get the double raise. What Ramsfjell should be trying to do now is tuck one half round behind these two yellows, maybe top 8 foot, to stop anything like that happening, protect his red at the top of the button. Not sure if he's line 1 or 2 there, Kenny, just now, is he?
I think he's possibly line 2.
I think so.
Magnus Varberg, second player. Really key thing for this is it's got to be front ring.
I don't think they like it. It's over bending. Tight and light. The last thing you want. The only thing about it, he did knock the plant off.
Yeah, still an opportunity for Team Murdoch to come around and just sit in the yellow back of the 4 foot. Probably would sit shot.
I think it would. Greg Drummond. Third for D.Murdoch. Out turn again. You'll notice a lot of these guys out there use the stopwatches to give themselves an idea on the weight. What they do is they time it from the tee line when they're throwing it, the tee line to the hog, and that gives them a gauge, the length of time it takes. The longer time it takes, the slower the stone is, obviously, so they work out during the course of a game just the kind of weight they're looking for. What's tee weight? Usually with Perth you're looking about 310, 315. Depends how good you are with the stopwatch, mind you, because you've got to be pretty spot on. He was wanting that a little bit further, but it is actually not too bad a position there, really.
Yeah, it's there for just raising up with the next one. Obviously, Ramsfjell can't cover both sides of the sheet, so no matter what, he's going to leave him with a shot.
They're going to have a shot one way or the other, yeah. In turn again, it looks a bit
Yeah, certainly on the light side.
tight in the light again. Certainly not handling, whether that side of the sheet slightly slower and bendier than the other, but I don't really think so. Because if he could have brought that right in onto the face of his red, it was looking pretty good there.
Yeah, I think Dave's right here. They could probably just move everything.
Called up Greg just to go and have a look at the angles, try and open things up a bit.
It's getting a bit late in the end though for Balin. That's
Well, you've got to make it good.
There's still an opportunity to come around the right hand side as we look at it and rest onto the yellow back of the fort. There's always going to be the yellow in the middle there that's going to stick on the centre line. You might move it ever so slightly to the right.
Is he trying to run back on the yellows here onto his own yellow, which will then spring the red off the button? Greg Drummond, in-turn hit. Trying to hit the outside half of that yellow nearest to him. Plenty of weight on this one. Sweeping it for line, trying to hold it straight. Overbent on him. And unfortunately that really, from their point of view, didn't help matters too much because the angles don't look too great out the front now. Chance now for Ramsfjell. He can come right in on top of his red. He's certainly going to give Dave Murdoch a few problems, and Dave does not have the hammer at this end. Line looks good.
Oh, great looking shot for just.
Oh, he's just a fraction heavy. That's not what he wanted at all, I can assure you. Bit over eager with the sweeping there.
Yeah, maybe would have been better just taking it right past. So get out of jail opportunity for Team Murdoch.
Absolutely. Bit of inexperience shown there with the Norwegians. The two sweepers should have been straight on, telling the guy in the head how heavy it was to give him an idea. That was one where they should either have beefed it all the way to get it back out the road or try to let it die onto the top of the red at the top of the button. May give Murdoch a chance to hit that red stone and just roll in towards the button. He's taking a bit of ice here, so he's obviously just playing a kind of, oh no, he's changed his mind. Maybe seen a little more than he thought. No, a little less than he thought, so he's just playing a back ring weight. On his way. Again, they're sweeping the inside to try and hold the line straight.
Yeah, this one is moving a lot. Has it got past? It has.
He's by. Still not first shot, but certainly a big improvement for him. I don't know if Norway can see enough of that to come in at a back 8 weight and move it back. I don't think so.
I think possibly they could, Gordon, because there's a lot of distance between the guards and the stone in play. D.Murdoch really, really tight to the guard there.
Yeah, no, they're taking a lot of ice, so they're obviously not playing weight at this. Just trying to come in and sit on top of that yellow. M.Ramsfjell.
Yeah, just looking for the in-turn tap back. They've been inside on this line on a number of occasions. It'll be interesting to see if they're on the inside again. And this
Away
one,
going hard again. Wrecked the guard. Not really what he was looking for.
yeah, so not sure if they're not giving enough ice or just not getting out to the broom, or a little bit soft on the handle.
Bit soft in his release maybe, and fairly lightish in weight, which probably just set it bending a lot earlier than they'd anticipated.
I'm not too impressed with that one.
No.
So it looks like D.Murdoch will just come down and possibly freeze his own yellow.
What he's trying to do now is make sure that young Ramsfjell doesn't score more than one. So he thinks if he can freeze the yellow, there's almost no way that Ramsfjell can come in for a second shot. Here we go, taking a lot of ice out in the middle of the 12 foot, so obviously just trying to throw T-weight.
Yeah, and a lot bigger handle this time. See,
seems to be a higher line, but it's starting to bend now, and there's Michael Goodfellow going, trying to hold the head up, trying to hold it straighter. Off now.
so we're at 3 rotations already.
Yeah, and now they're going with a hair broom to try and make it bend more. Almost. Red still shot though, I think. Yeah. So Ramsfjell now has to try and manufacture a 2 out of this, which I don't think is going to be very easy. Because often in a situation like this, you can often be better off just not playing the shot at all. Take your one and move on.
I think possibly a shot to come down and push
He's
the.
looking, like I say, the acting skip in the head doesn't show any movement at all, give us any idea what they're thinking about. My Norwegian's not very good, I don't know about yours, Kenny.
It's appalling, non-existent.
The thing is, he doesn't want to have a wing ding at anything really, just in case he moves that red off short position.
She's looking at this outside stone. As long as you catch it on the thin side, you probably can't go wrong.
Famous last words.
Because you catch it on the thick side, you're probably going to come off the back of the and push the back of the yellow that's on the centre line. Yeah. So, and you might even spring back up off the yellow at the back.
You could.
So he's got options.
Is he having a go?
Yeah, he certainly is.
He's got the brush in the middle of nowhere, so there can't be any weight getting thrown at it anyway, or not very much.
Actually believes he can hold it a little bit straighter and predict what it's going to do off the in turn.
I imagine he's just going to try and throw this about back ring weight, Kenny, yeah?
I would hope so.
Catch a corner of the very wide corner guard there and spin into the button position. Right, he played a stinger at the first end with his last stone, so.
Yeah, a little soft with that one. That one's going to hit the outside of this one. I just didn't.
Yeah.
A little scared of it, I think.
Probably. Yeah, no, overbent on him by a good 5-6 inches there. One red.
Yeah, look at
M.Ramsfjell goes 2-1 up.
Look at the overhead. He couldn't really go wrong, even playing weight at that one.
No, I don't think so. But there's always that little niggle at the back of your mind, which just makes you a bit worried if you put it up at 100 miles an hour. Anyway, I'm sure if somebody had said to him earlier on, you'll be 1 up after 3 against Murdoch, I think he would probably have taken that.
So while these guys are preparing for the fourth end, I'll just give you an update on other games going on in the Junior Centre. Over on sheet H, Morizumi of Japan against Hess of Switzerland. With Hess, who is 3-2 up after 3 ends. A game between Schwaller and Smith. It is Schwaller who is 1 up.
That's a rerun of the World Junior Championship final a couple of years ago, which Schwaller came out on top of.
And sheet F, it's Brown from the USA against Rasmus Sturjana of Denmark. That's all tied at 2 each. And sheet D, M.Ramsfjell Murdoch, that's the game we're seeing. It's M.Ramsfjell leading 2-1. Peter de Cruz against David Seek. It's David Seek leading 1-0 after 3 ends. And sheet A, McDonald against Kiskinen. After 3 ends, McDonald leads by 1-0. And on sheet E, Kevin Cooey is 3-2 up after 3 ends against Rana of Sweden.
Meanwhile, back at our feature game here. Norwegian lead through centre guard, came up a bit short, just a bit longer than he would have liked. Michael Goodfellow obviously now got his draw weight round to the top of the 4 foot. That's the weight we're looking for instead of the back of the 8 foot.
Yeah, so just looking to come around and tap the yellow through. Have they done
Which
enough?
is played. Yep. Perfect weight. Dave Murdoch going for the hit and roll here. Obviously doesn't like that one at the top of the 4 foot. Thought he might have been a wee bit more aggressive at this situation, do you not, Kenny?
You would have thought so, but he's maybe just trying to blank this next couple of ends and maybe go for it and end 6. This being a end game.
Magnus Faberg throwing the out turn hit on Dave Murdoch's stone in the 8 foot there. It's half stone, going to roll out, ran out of play, so all we've got is the long centre guard left in play at the moment. Scott Andrews asks for an out-turn draw behind the centre guard at the top of the forefoot. Sweepers are leaving it, which indicates it's got plenty of weight on it. Scott's had a bit of trouble finding draw weight this game. Heavy again.
He's had a bit of trouble finding anything. Gordon's put everything back to you. A little high. It's not where he really wants that one.
No. Again, gives Ramsfjell a chance to come around and lock onto it, and we end up with our little log jam behind the tee again, which we've had a couple of times in this game. Just a few of them struggling to find their draw weight.
Yeah, just looking out on the ice, it doesn't look as if the ice is got tracky at all, like up the centre, sort of between the tram lines. You sometimes find that up there is really slick, and just outside them is rather frosty. It doesn't look as if that's beginning to appear at all.
No, I think it's fairly consistent. Normally about the 5th, 6th end of the game you often find, because most of the stones are played up sort of the centre, it will slow up slightly up the centre, and you often find the kind of opposite effect where it will be actually faster further out than it is in the middle. But that's something these guys they're all experienced. The likes of D.Murdoch and them are, and they should be right on top of that. And again, you've got the stopwatches, they can keep on top of the draw weight. Scott Andrews again, out turn.
Here we go. Line's real good. Line's real good. Line's real good, guys. Come on, come on, come on.
Got his weight this time, I think. It's more like it, that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Plumb behind the guard, I reckon.
Yeah, I like just coming in. Yeah, just got to watch it, but it's not out with that.
I noticed, Kenny, that the Norwegian lead goes in the head when the skip's throwing. I think it's not enough brotherly love between the two brothers there, that he doesn't trust his brother to hold the brim for him.
I'm actually just looking at the lead sweeping action. I think that's probably why he's been demoted to the head. Yeah. Yeah, generally you'll want your strongest sweepers side by side.
Absolutely, they are. When you compare them with some of the top teams, they're not just the best of sweepers, but they're all young, they're all learning, because sweeping is a big part of the game now. It can make a heck of a difference.
Yeah, a lot of these teams now, it doesn't really matter. They don't play in the conventional order, whether it's the skip calls the game, the vice skip or third takes the head when the skip's playing the stones, the second plays at the second position, the lead just plays his two and sweeps the rest. It's you will find that the lead or the second sometimes goes to the head for the skip stones.
That's right. The sort of convention always was that they skipped through the last stones, but that doesn't always happen. One of the most successful teams on the planet a few years ago was Randy Fairby. He didn't throw the last stones. He skipped it, but played third. Dave Nedda went through the last stones, and he had a pretty good record for a year or two.
Yeah, he actually won this back in 2004, 2005, I think.
I remember him winning it. Can't remember when it was right enough. But also a couple of world titles in there as well. So M.Ramsfjell out turn. Things are looking a bit better for Muddy this end. Just trying to come down, freeze the one at the back of the button.
Yeah, another scrappy end so far.
Trying to get it bending now. Just called the tap, trying to tap it back behind the tee. Didn't catch quite enough of it.
Yeah,
And
so
now gives Dave Murdoch the chance to get a wee hit and roll in. And he'll then have three round the button, and with the hammer is starting to look quite good.
yeah, it's maybe the mistakes that D.Murdoch was looking for.
Greg Drummond again, out turn hit, just trying to hit just inside centre so he can roll across towards the centre line, behind the double cover. And Scott Andrews getting beefed in there, trying to hold the line up.
Yeah, nice shot.
Oh, not too bad. Overbent a fraction on him, but I'm sure he'll take that because the first shot is in a good position at the top of the button there. Ramsfjell determined to keep drawing here. He hasn't got the hammer. He's going to have to get a killer in on top of that one, on top of the button, or Dave Murdoch's going to be starting to be thinking about a wee count here.
It's a really key shot for the young Norwegian skip.
Absolutely.
It's certainly not a textbook release, Gordon. It's
No.
very close to a double touch. It looks as if it's got a little bit of running on it.
Oh, he was just betwixt and between. He's not too bad, but Dave Murdoch now trying to get the hit and roll in. He'll sacrifice his own yellow probably behind the red, but he's trying to get his shooter over beside his other yellow, and then that leaves Ramsfjell on a lot of problems not having the hammer. On its way, controlled weight. Line looks pretty good. It's just what he was looking for. Now lies 3, and Ramsfjell has a few problems.
Yeah, now things are looking rather ominous for the young Norwegians.
His first instinct was to freeze the one at the top of the button, but then I think the team kind of suggested to him that maybe a double takeout might be on the a bit more advantageous. If he can take the 2, just catch an inch or 2 of the middle yellow, take the other one away. Murdoch will still lie 1, have a shot for a 2, but the way things have been going this end, Ramsfjell will probably be quite happy with that. There's going to be a bit of speed on this.
And certainly on top of the hog line as well. And this one's running back, so maybe on the high side.
Yeah, a little wide, and now leaves Dave a pretty straightforward shot for 3. I think Ramsfjell's mistake there was a not an easy double with his first stone, but there was certainly a hit and roll opportunity off that stone that he did eventually hit with his second stone there, and I think he should probably have tried that with his first one. and then the maximum we could probably have lost would have been a 2, but now it should be a 3.
Vi har brukt sånn så vidt over halvparten av tiden, så jeg skal prøve litt raskere.
Yeah, so final stone of this fourth end for David Murdoch. Just needs to be fully 4 foot. Again, good rotation on the stone, just so it doesn't drift away onto the centre line.
You'll notice the sweepers have done away with the hairbrush for this one because they're not really too bothered about the line, and I reckon the fabric head is better for weight control. Easy 3 for Dave there. Dave Murdoch 4-2 up after 4.
So the young Norwegians suffering a loss of a 3 in the fourth end. Dave Murdoch now leading 4-2. They do have last stone advantage though, so could tie the game should they manage to pick up at least a score of 2. Certainly not out of the game yet. Just need to sharpen things up a little. And this one from Greg Drummond, I think it grabbed a little bit of debris just on the slide out, and you just seen him adjusting the handle on it. That's why probably just didn't end up in the spot he would want. I wanted to be right on top of the 4 foot and drag the play into the house. So Norway will go the corner guard option and try and get some cover out wide. So let's see if this one from Greg. So what they were looking to do with that one was remove the stone from the centre line. So Michael just squaring that one back a little. Isn't known for his finesse on the hitting game. They do have a double corner guard on. So Scott Andrews now just going to try and drive the corner guard out of play with the centre one, and he does that quite superbly. So only one stone in play. You see the time clocks. Still plenty of time for both these sides.
Tight! Veldig tight! Hold on forbi. Da vil han gå. Ja, bare la han gå. Fem. Bare la han gå. Eller kanskje ren, men ikke noe mer.
So this one's maybe just going to run a little far into the rings and will be open as well. You'll see D.Murdoch make a play in it and try and roll in behind the corner. So sneaks past the guard and rolls into the open. Well, for me, that isn't that great a shot because you can play off the yellow, even just nudge it back, and even if you catch either side. But they're electing to play the hit. Just, I think the call would be just to come along, nudge the yellow back in behind, and you might get an opportunity to try and create a two, but just playing the hit and in behind is such a delicate shot to make. And makes that one on the nose, so again a straightforward shot for Team Murdoch.
Open end, that's what Dave wants now. He's got the lead. He's been on a nature call there and made a discovery that they're not M.Ramsfjell's sons. One is, and the other one's M.Ramsfjell's son, who was M.Ramsfjell's lead. So they are in fact not brothers but cousins. Still both a good pedigree though. Just having a look at the time clocks there, Kenny.
Yeah, I still think they've got enough time there.
Got plenty of time. Yeah. The Norwegians were just under half at the fourth end, after the fourth end, which is halfway. But unless they do an awful lot of dithering about, they should all have plenty of time.
So, with playing the takeouts, what that's done is allowed D.Murdoch now just to peel that corner guard. And this all stemmed from playing a hit on a stone that was in behind, or nearly in behind the corner guard. If they'd just come down, rested against it, nudged it in behind, they might have got a mistake or created an opportunity for two, but
that's it.
That opportunity's gone now, so this end more than likely will be blanked.
Not very likely that Muddy and them are going to miss appeals, so like you're saying, the end will be played out and Ramsfjell will try and create something at next end, try and get his two back.
So trying for the corner guard, maybe a little bit deep with the guard there, but it's in play.
Muddy here in turn. All he's trying to do is make contact, and basically where Greg's brush is there at the side of the stone, roll it out of play.
So He threw that one really nice and clean.
Perfect. Looks easy peeling guards. Believe you me, it's not.
Is that because you've missed a few in your time?
It has been known, has been known. Didn't usually miss them, just usually hit them all in the nose.
The hit in the nose, you can blame the skip.
Yeah, but when you're skipping. Ramsfjell not drawing one short this time because that wouldn't really work, so just putting it in the house.
Yeah, if you threw one short, then Murdoch would just come around it.
I know.
So
Again, in turn, just trying to hit half the stone. Oh no, he's not. He's trying to nose it, and then hope Ramsfjell noses it.
just an observation, most of these players are right on top of the hog line. And they don't play with the touch-sensitive handles here, but just noticed a couple of times the takeouts.
Yeah, with the modern deliveries and the thick Teflon that they use on their sliding foot, they're going at a fair speed. All the international competitions, they have a little metal bar goes across the ice about 6 inches short of the hog, and if your fingers are still in contact with the handle, when it reaches that, there's a little red light comes on the stone, and you know exactly that you've overdone it, and the stone is taken off. But here it's everybody's very close, but it's all done in trust, and there's very rarely fisticuffs, but has been known. So blank end in the fifth. Ramsfjell with a hammer. He'll be trying to create something here to try and get his two back. He's two down. The theory of the game here is you get your 2 in the 6, you force Murdoch to 1 in the 7, and then you have the hammer and the 8 to get your 2 and you win the game. But it doesn't just work quite as easily as that often.
Yeah, so while Michael Goodfellow throws his first rock, we'll go over the scoreboards. Morizumi against Hess, that's all tied at 3 each after 4. Game between Schwaller and Smith. It is Schwaller who now leads 3-1 after playing a great angle raise for his 2 in the 4th. And Sojourner against Brown. It's Brown 3-2 up after 4. Kui still 3-2 up over Rana. De Cruz is 3-2 up on David Seek. The game between Hoiberg and Bruce Mowat after 4 is tied at 4 each. And Ewan McDonald is 2 up after 5 ends over Kiskinen.
Well, the Norwegians have just made the critical error there. They're 2 down. They're looking for short stones to try and create something, and the lead just throws it into the house, which means Dave has just got to remove that from play. And really, there's only one chance now to get a short stone on, and doesn't look healthy. So it's not easy to create anyway, put it that way. Michael Goodfellow, perfect hit and roll right in front of his 1 in the button. Couldn't have gone and placed that better.
Yeah, so probably what we'll see is them continue to throw maybe a couple of corner guards, hope for a nose hit or a miss. Then they'll maybe start to just bump things around in the house, get things back tee.
That's probably what they're going to have to do. Just try and push things to the back of the 4 foot into 8 foot. There's always a chance of getting, when Murdoch's hitting, if they maybe lock one on or something, but it's not a great chance. But you're always far better trying to create offence by using short stones. But One corner guard in play now, but now the free guard zone's finished, Dave can remove that from play. Scott Andrews, usually pretty good at that. Just the inexperience and youthfulness of the Norwegians starting to show a little bit here. Like you said, Kenny, he'll throw a couple of corner guards, then he'll probably have to start working with the stones in the house.
Yeah, I think the young Norwegian side, just looking at the technique, it's just the slide looks pretty good. It's just the release in the final sort of 2 or 3 feet of releasing that stone just needs a little bit of work.
Yeah, they just don't have positive releases, which on real swingy ice like this you really need. You've always got to make sure you're out to the brush or even up the hill a bit, because it's going to come at the end.
And
not quite, a little thinner than was meant, but
well, now they're going to throw a corner guard. And there now is an opportunity to maybe just play a corner freeze on the one on the button, even a foot short of it.
even put one in between them, short of them a yard or 4 feet, you know, there's a chance of locking something. And if they do hit it on the nose, then you've got something to work with, maybe at the top of the 8 foot or the top of the house.
You can always come around something that's in the 8 foot.
So I don't think Kenny and me would have been playing this one.
No.
Not against these guys anyway. He's also a bit deep. So Greg Drummond, been asked for the hit and roll to the centre line, but I think they'll be pretty happy with just the peel. As long as that red one's out of the picture, that's all they're really looking for.
Yeah, don't really need to hang around with this one. Actually rolling away is probably the better call.
Well, it's the old story, if you're down in curling, every stone's a friend, whether it's yours or the opposition's, because you can always use it, freeze it, come behind it. So the emptier the house, the better when you're winning. Still persevering with the corner guard here.
Yeah, now I think they're going to have to make a play on the stones in the house with their next.
Greg Drummond again, out turn peel. Bread and butter to Greg.
Yep, this time they're actually going to play the freeze.
Do you think he was listening to us, Kenny?
I think he might have. M.Ramsfjell, third for Norway.
Ideal position here is just half freeze the one on the button on the high side, so that if Murdoch does hit it, it's going to lock on the other yellow.
He threw it this one pretty clean, a lot cleaner than he's thrown the rest. So you don't even need to be perfect.
He actually is pretty he's pretty good, but he's maybe just overbent it a wee bit.
Yeah, he should be able to squeeze that one out over the top.
I think if Dave gets the high side of this, it's going to go over the top of the other yellow. Again, a wee bit of experience lacking there, or a wee bit of inexperience showing. Not a bad attempt though.
He's asked the question, and that's really all
Well,
he could do.
He's making Dave play a harder shot than Greg had to play, really. So this stone from Dave Murdoch, it's not going to be hanging around, so anywhere on the high side of centre and that red is history.
I think that's the best option. Yeah, like half a peel it should go, so.
Dave and the boys are just back. They were out in, I think it was Japan, they were a few weeks ago, just 2-3 weeks ago there, and managed to win an event out there. And these guys do a lot of travelling nowadays, all over the world.
Yeah, I think they picked up a 1 million yen for their win.
Sounds good, but maybe it wasn't.
Yeah, I think it equates to about 5 and a bit grand, I think.
Is that
So,
right?
yeah.
Better not say any more, a taxman might be listening.
Yeah, so again, just going to play the out turn freeze onto the yellow on the tee line. Probably one of the hardest shots to play is just throwing it up to the face of another stone.
Yeah. Just watching Ramsfjell's release there, you mentioned it earlier on, it was almost a double touch, and you would almost think with if he ever did get to a situation with the electronic handles, he might be in a bit of trouble with that.
Looks as if he's made a good effort at this one. He has.
Pretty good. There's 6 inches of space there, but his line was just about perfect. Plumbing line when you see them there. So I make a wee prediction that this one won't be at hack weight anyway. He'll come up at a solid weight here. As long as he hits half stone, it's going to go.
Yeah, so big kick out the hack there.
Yeah, this one's not hanging around. Half stone, and it's away.
Yeah, so do Norway take their one, or do they try and blank this end? I think they've probably just got to throw this one away.
Yeah, he doesn't want his one here, so he just throws this one through the back, and it'll be another blank end, and it will be 4-2 to Murdoch after 6. And Ramsfjell from Norway will have the hammer.
Yeah, so as we head into the 7th end, it's Murdoch leading Ramsfjell 4-2. And we're just going to take a look at the stats if Gordon wants to run through some of the numbers.
Well, they don't really make very great reading, to be quite honest, Kenny. We've got Ramsfjell's lead, thrown 58, second 56, third 48, and the skip 63. So really top level. These guys should all be throwing 75 plus. Murdoch and them just not setting the header on fire either. Got a team average of 58. Dave himself's thrown 81, so it's not too bad. Scott's kind of struggled with draw weight a wee bit, but when you look back at the earlier ends of the percentages, things have certainly improved a lot. But anyway, percentages, they give you a fair idea. Things are getting better and better for them, and they're certainly well in front in the average.
Yeah, really the only stat that matters at the end of the day is if you pick up the one in the board.
Absolutely. It's the old story, you can play 95%, but if the 5% you dropped was a hit against 7, it's not really much use.
Easy. Line's good. Needs the curl, needs the curl, needs the curl.
Yeah, you've got to think Norway are going to throw the kitchen sink at this experienced Scottish side.
Yeah, he's got to try and generate a 2 here. He's got his first corner guard on. That's not a brilliant stone from Michael. That really hasn't, not where he wanted it at all. And Norwegian lead is now trying to throw into on corner guard, level with the one he just played. And then, as they say, the goalposts will be set up and he can try and have a go to get his 2. That's more like it. 2 corner guards, pretty level. You want to try and get them level so Murdoch can't take both away with one shot. He's 2 up, he doesn't want any junk out the front of the house at all. Asking Scott Andrews for the out-turn peel.
Yeah, this one not hanging around. Nice rotation on that one.
Yeah, half-stone peel, perfect.
I think Scott's certainly more comfortable playing the take-out game than more aggressive drawing game.
Probably. He's always been known as a super hitter. He can draw a bit as well, though, the boy. No way you get to get to the final of the Olympics not doing that. Just been a bit tricky earlier on, maybe a wee bit tracky earlier in the game. No, everybody was finding it a bit hard to start with, so but I'm sure they're all settled down now. Of course, the other big incentive with this first round is that the winners don't play at 8 o'clock in the morning, so you don't really want to lose your first one. Ramsfjell again going with the other corner guard, and I don't know how long they'll do it this time, but certainly the 2 yellows in the house could be worth making a play on, Kenny, I think.
Yeah, I think so. You're into your seconds final stone, so yeah, I think it's early enough to have a go. And this one's really cutting hard, isn't it?
Another out-turn peel from Scott. Not what he wanted at all. That's not like him at all. So, bit of a mistake there. And now that gives Ramsfjell a bit to play with. I know if you're not a curler, it doesn't look great, but believe you me, if you're 2 down, that's quite a good situation to be in.
Yeah, with these teams travelling all around the world, it's pretty difficult for them to get into the correct time zone. You know, they could be in Canada one week, Japan the next, Scotland the next, and then the following weekend they're maybe in Switzerland. So
I know the body clocks. I suppose a lot of the guys that are doing it a lot, like Muddy and them, they'll get pretty used to it. And they've all got doctors down at the Institute of Sport that tell them when to take the sleeping pills and when not. Like if you're going to Canada, you don't take them on the way there, but you take them on the way back just to try and keep you right. Because I remember years ago going to Canada and we were all just falling asleep on the ice. Probably showed in our play as well, mind you. But
that's probably because you're in the bar too late, Gordon.
Kenny, we never went to the bar before 12. Now, I know for Olympics and things, they talk about you're supposed to have a day for every hour of time difference. So really, if you're going to Canada or something, you're talking about 6-7 hours. You should have 6 or 7 days to get your body clock back right. But obviously, for a big competition like the Olympics or the Worlds, you'll do that. But for your normal World Curling Tour events and things, you can't really do that at all. So usually a couple of days, and you've got to try and adjust. But these guys are used to it. Doesn't really make up an excuse for the Norwegians here, though, because it's only an hour.
Yeah, you're correct. So,
anyway, he's got a few stones in play now. Can try and create something.
so I don't know.
Is he trying to freeze the other yellow here, is he? No, he's throwing a little bit of pace on here.
What you might be able to do is if you'd corner froze the red again to line it up onto the other yellow.
No, but he's played a back ring height weight here. This is over Ben. Well, he kind of got away with that a wee bit.
It actually very nearly turned out pretty good for him.
Actually did. If you had drawn a couple inches more, it would have been not so good. Anyway, he's got 2 in the rings. He's got the hammer, and he may be able to try and create something here if D.Murdoch and Cole make a wee slip up or a half shot. Greg Drummond trying just to replace that red one at the top of the button. Out turn, strike weight. Going hard to try and hold the line here. That's just what he's looking for.
Yeah, but if Norway could just nudge the yellow to the back of the 4, may set up an angle though on a double in the reds. Looking at that, it probably would. So yeah, maybe just an attempt at the double and roll across to the face of the other yellow.
The thing is, he's got to hold on to his shooter.
Yeah.
And if he's going to try the double, he really needs to play kind of bumper weight, hack bumper weight minimum. And the main thing here is to hang on to his red shooter and try and force Muddy into a mistake. If he just hits and rolls to the left a fraction here, he can flick the 2 yellows away, and there's not going to be any double in the reds in his 2 zone. So,
Yeah,
team don't look convinced.
Yeah, I don't think they're convinced about playing the straight tap. I don't think there's any benefit of that because
No.
Murdoch will just go straight after the cross double.
Oh, it's a half stone double there. Taking a lot of ice, so they're obviously playing down weight. Sweepers are up and down, which is usually a sign of a reasonable shot. Just didn't bend as much as they were hoping, I don't think.
It's not.
Not disastrous,
No,
because if Muddy takes the double, there's a fair chance he's going to lock that red on the 2 yellows.
Yeah. And he's left a nice little pocket to play a freeze into as well.
Absolutely.
So
His best result here would be to go for the double in the reds, hopefully get rid of one of the yellows as well, which gives Ramsfjell a bit less ammunition to use.
Was that too heavy? Yeah, I think so too. I think I'll move it here.
they're looking just to play the control takeout around the corner guard and roll in behind the red.
I think that's what he's calling. throw this at a controlled strike weight.
Perfect roll's probably behind the red, and then we'll take a big roll. Control! Yep.
On its way. Must be close. Sweeping's up and down.
That's a real nice shot. But maybe.
But I don't know. I wouldn't put that there, I'll be quite honest. Because that's leaving too much for Ramsfjell now.
Just looking at that.
He comes and taps that back 6-8 inches to the back of the button. There's just about no way you could get rid of the red off, you know. Muddy's only got one shot to come. I think that just rolled a foot further than he was hoping there, I think.
Yep. Let's have a look.
So he's playing in-turn tap. He wants to come to the yellow that's right in the button and just tap it back a few inches. Heel lie shot, and it will be pretty hard to get rid of it. Looks like he's throwing a bit of weight in this, Kenny.
I think what he might have looked at is playing the chip off the one on the button and roll into the pocket.
He's hanging high just now. The sweepers aren't going near it. Needing to bend.
Coming now.
Weight's coming down.
And that's a great shot.
It's a good shot. Flying shot, and it's frozen, and there's maybe not a way out for that actually with these other two yellows there.
Absolutely no way out for that one.
Dave kind of maybe regretting letting so many stones lie about the place there.
Well, either or, I think, like if it overcurls on us with no
Damage limitation now, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That's really a shot.
Could you over hit right in the middle there and bounce it out?
Yeah, this is
not,
going there for
I know.
I mean, a two's not a disaster for Dave because he's going to go into the last end peels with the hammer. He certainly doesn't want to risk losing a 3. Because if he comes up and has a wing ding at this, he could move a couple of yellows, not move the red.
Is he just coming down to nose this one? Is that what he's trying to do? Just sit like.
Not 100% sure what his call is here yet. Because if he noses it, the red's going to spin over to the yellows, up the yellow at the back of the 4 foot.
He's maybe trying to roll them together, just right and set the yellow right on top of the red. Not played crazy weight.
Straight on with the sweep in.
Gotta go.
Scott Andrews working hard there.
He has got in for shot.
He has indeed. Now, I know what all the top Canadian teams would be doing here, Kenny. They'd be running that red at the top of your screen straight back for 2.
Yeah, even if you lock it in the nose, you're still going to score your 2.
Yeah. I'm not so sure about this one. He's trying to play just past T-weight draw. He's just got to sneak round that red in the 8 foot, catch an edge of that yellow, move it, what, 3-4 inches?
Yeah, I think he only needs to move it even 2 inches.
Yeah.
That'd be enough.
Not easy. It's taking an awful lot of ice because he has to have a little bit of running on it.
Yeah, the run's definitely the easier shot.
Oh, both, yes.
The line looks pretty good at the moment.
Sweepers are working hard. I think this is going to overbend, is it? Oh dear.
Yeah, so
1 to Muddy, 3 up.
yeah,
I think big bit of inexperience there, Kenny.
yeah. But Murdoch's got to count himself a little bit lucky with that one as well, though. He got himself into a bit of trouble.
He certainly did. Anyway, Murdoch steals 1, 5-2. Not really very close with his last attempt at all there, unfortunately. But really, straight run back on the red that he hit there. Nose hit. He's got a 2 all day. That's maybe one they'll look back on after the game. I don't know if their coaches are videoing this or not, but certainly a lot of these teams have video analysis now, and they look back over shots through the games and see where they went wrong or what they did right. And certainly one there, I'm sure their coach would be telling them that the nose hit would be a far easier shot for the 2.
Yeah.
And really, barring miracles, Dave Murdoch will be on the late shift tomorrow, and Ramsfjell will be up early. However, they're still going. Stranger things have happened.
Unless there's a double on.
So absolutely crucial for Ramsfjell here. He gets a couple of stones out the front, a couple of corner guards up.
Yeah, the 3 isn't too hard to come by. All you really need is one mistake. If you play a really good end, you can still have an opportunity to score 3.
Absolutely. But you haven't got to make any mistakes.
Yeah.
Michael Goodfellow doing his stats a lot of good here. Couple of throw-throughs. They don't want anything in play now. So just get them out of the way. That's his 2 gone. Now they can start hitting granite.
We had a really quick first couple of heads there just now.
Yeah, you watch this one really cut across the sheet now. Again, we've talked about handles and releases. This is when the game gets to around the 8th end, the ice, the pebble begins to come off. It goes a little bit flat, and you see they've just let that one drift in to the rings.
Just the last thing they were wanting. They've got to get everything short. Mind you, it didn't matter if it was short. I mean, it's Scott Andrews here, so you know, always make short shift to them. Yeah, like Kenny's saying, to get to the latter stages of a game, the pebble starts to flatten out a wee bit, especially up the middle there where everybody's sliding out every end, and the stones start bending more and slowing faster. So you've got to stay on top of this. You have to put a real positive handle on them. Another corner guard, but he's taking it a bit past the other one. Muddy decides the other one's not really a danger. A lot of guys would have had a go to try and get rid of the 2 guards there, but Dave reckons the longer guard's not really a threat because it's so far out.
Yeah.
With this swing on the ice, they come right behind that. You could still follow it up at a good hack weight.
Yeah, and the double's probably just a little bit too thin.
Yeah. Scott Andrews makes short work of that.
Yes, you've got to expect that Murdoch will just run Ramsfjell out of stones.
It's certainly starting to look that way now. But anyway, They're young guys, so hopefully they've learnt something from it. Because I know back in Norway they won't get a great deal of opportunities to play against top class opposition. It's the old story, a young team, there's not a great deal of curling in Norway. They've got a few really good teams, but there's not the big base of curling that we have here, Switzerland, Canada, etc. So they'll get a lot of experience from the likes of this, and hopefully, if they've got their heads screwed on, they'll take a lot home with them.
Yeah, certainly. You probably learn more from a defeat than you do from picking up a win.
I've always said that, Kenny, because I think that's the way you really learn. I know in my own past there's a few things you did, and after getting thumped you thought, well, damn it, I'll not do that again anyway.
And you do.
Favourite one was I was 3 up on Chuck Hay many moons ago, and he managed to get a 4 off us at the last end, so we certainly learnt a bit there anyway, I can tell you. We were very young though.
That would be in the old Perth though, was it, Gordon?
It was, the old Perth in black and white.
Yeah. So this looks like if Greg Drummond can remove this from play, Ramsfjell would need to score with everything he has.
Yeah, basically they've got to get rid of this, and Ramsfjell then has to put his stones into the paint, and Muddy just has to get one of them away, and the game's gone. You can certainly see the difference the time clocks make, because our TV sheet is the only sheet that is actually on time clocks for the first 2 or 3 days of this competition, and they're a good 2 heads just about in front of everybody else.
Yep.
Because basically they have to get a move on. Because the thing is with the time clocks, if you run out of time, even if you're 5 up, that's it, you've lost the game. So you just can't do it.
It does make a nice draw in behind the corner guard, but I don't think they'll bother worrying about the one in the house. They'll just peel the top one, so they get a free lash at the one in the house with their final stone.
Absolutely, gets this one out of play. They have to put the next one into the rings, and Dave's got an open hit.
A little bit unsteady out of the hack there from D.Murdoch.
It didn't look his best one, did it?
Does enough though.
Does the job. So Ramsfjeld's got to put it in the rings. You might as well just put it at the other side of the rings and cross your fingers.
So, young Norwegian skip, slowing this one down, has to hit the paint with it.
Sweeper's just nursing it along. That's all he can do, and Dave just make contact with this red, get the red out of the rings, and he's won the game. All these top teams meticulous, cleaning the stone, keeping the ice clean, because any little bits of debris, bits of fluff, you know, so you always see the sweepers in the top teams making sure everything's clear.
Yeah, so what we expect will be the final stone of this game.
Yeah, doesn't seem to be any panic with this. That's it.
Yep, just run out of stones here in the 8th end. So it will be Murdoch who will continue along the A road. Ramsfjell will drop down to the B road and play at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Murdoch will be on at 10:15.
Well, I don't know if you're on at 8, Kenny, but I'm certainly not. I've got both my boys are curling here, so I've got to do all the work at home, unfortunately.
Like myself, I've got some work back home to do, so there will be more coverage here from the Dewar Centre in Perth at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So from Gordon and myself, it's been great broadcasting this A-Road game, and please tune in to tomorrow for some more great games from this Champions Curling Tour. Thank you.